Over a third of all homes in the United States are built in the wildland-urban interface, where houses have been built in wildfire-prone areas. In this environment, fire is an integral player in the cycle of growth, overgrowth, destruction, and renewal. Every year, thousands of families living in these areas are forced to flee in the face of rapidly moving wildfires. Chances are, if you have a house in the wildland-urban interface, a time will come when you'll be advised to evacuate for the safety of your family and animals. Evacuations can be highly stressed disruptions of normal life, especially if no pre-planning has been done. When the word comes to evacuate, will you know what to do? Emergency responders urge each family to prepare far in advance of a wildfire. Many things may be overlooked or forgotten if you wait until an emergency strikes to make these decisions. How can you improve the survivability of your house and your property? What will you need to take with you? Dividing evacuations into 3 distinct phases can help. Ready, set, go. First, it is important to recognize the hazards which can lead fire to your house. Fire-resistant building materials, such as stucco and metal roofing, can give your house protection from the ember shower when sparks literally fall like snow, finding their way into every crack and lighting new fires in any receptive material. Wooden houses, especially with decks or stilted construction, can catch fire easily. A layer of weed barrier, covered by gravel, can stop grass and weed fires from reaching your walls. Keep all hazardous materials together, away from your living structures. Removing fuels such as branches near the ground which can ladder fire into the canopies, removing deadfall, and thinning crowded overgrowth can dramatically reduce a fire's intensity. Make an emergency kit to take with you. Take all electronics such as computers and phones. Important papers such as IDs, passports, birth certificates, and legal documents, such as deeds, would be difficult to replace. Pack some non-perishable foods and water. Don't forget your prescription drugs. Packing them into your first aid kit makes them easy to find. Remember toiletries such as toothpaste, brushes, toilet paper, razors, contact lenses, and cleaning solution. Don't forget prescription glasses if you need them. Bring a flashlight with extra batteries. An alarm clock can help you set a schedule wherever you go. Select in advance which items cannot be replaced, such as diaries and photo albums. Make sure all family members have contact information in case you get separated. Small animals, such as dogs and cats, will need food, water, and dishes. Plan multiple escape routes and communicate them to all family members in case a fire cuts off your main escape route. When a fire has been reported in your area, do final preparations. Close all windows and doors. If you have non-flammable blinds, close them to reflect heat back away from windows. This person hung animal hides in the windows for extra protection. If you have time, move flammable furniture away from large windows. Outside, take a walk around. Ask yourself, if this object burns right here, what will it do to my house? Move anything that might catch fire a safe distance away. Firewood, stacked on the deck or under it to keep it dry, must be spread away from the house. Charge your hose, but leave the nozzle off. Firefighters may need to use a quick shot of water to put out a hot spot. Turn propane off at the tank. Gather together smaller tanks and isolate in an open place. If they blow, You don't want them near your house. If you have an extension ladder, you can lean it against the side of the house farthest away from the fire's approach. This helps firefighters check your roof later. Lawn and deck furniture can be moved from the house to an open space, like green grass. Back your vehicle up next to the house and leave the keys in the ignition so you know where they are. Keep your emergency kit near the door, or load it right in the back of your vehicle. As dogs and other small animals may get confused and hard to catch later, take them into the house, or preload them into the escape vehicle. Listen to the radio for emergency updates.
We use the system we call it reverse 911. If I have enough available personnel, we will send people around to see that people have evacuated. That depending on what the danger is to my deputies and my people who are checking to see that people have evacuated. And that will send out an evacuation notice to the phones in the particular area, like the Baca or so forth, notifying the people that they must evacuate. Cell phones are supposed to work now on the emergency system if they have signed up their cell phone with the system.
Hello?
When an evacuation order is issued, keep calm and start your pre-planned process. Wear all cotton or wool clothing and put on sturdy leather shoes to protect your feet. Rubber or plastics can melt onto your feet. Cotton bandanas can filter out ash and particulate matter, but do not get them wet, as steam could cause lung damage. Add a fire-resistant hat, leather or cotton. A long-sleeved cotton or wool shirt or jacket protects your arms. Bring or wear leather gloves and wear some form of eye protection. Turn on the outside lights so your house can be seen through the smoke. Close the door, but don't lock it in case firefighters need to get in. Roll up your windows, use headlights, and leave early before the roads get clogged with fire apparatus or possibly panicking neighbors. An emergency shelter may already be set up by the Red Cross or others. This may be part of the instructions on the reverse 911 call.
When we did the reverse 911 notification evacuation, we would tell those residents where to evacuate to.
Checking in with the Red Cross, even if you decide not to use their shelter, allows officials to trace you in case someone reports you missing. You may have already considered where to take your animals in advance. Some motels will allow animals in emergency situation. With enough notice, large animals can be moved to neighbors' ranches. If there's no time, keep them in an area devoid of fuels and simply open the gate when you have to evacuate. They can fend for themselves better outside fences. It's best to have someone outside your area as a check-in point. Tell them where you are going and when you plan to be there.
If they want to call relatives or other people to let them know they've evacuated, that would probably do well for us so that we're not inundated with a bunch of phone calls in and say, are my relatives safe? If anybody evacuates from their home, they leave a sign on their front door or on their gate if their house sits back off of the road saying, I have evacuated. This way, if we are going around house to house to make sure people have evacuated, we know not to waste our time at different residences.
This ingenious community uses colored spools for each family to show if they are in or out during fire season. During a mandatory evacuation, police will control traffic in and out of the area. National Guard troops sometimes help with roadblocks and other security. Firefighters may do some final cleanup if they feel your house can be protected safely. They will always watch for unauthorized people in the area. If there is time, they may pull back duff around your trees and stage water where it will do the most good. They may turn on sprinklers if they feel the fire is imminent. Fire retardant and water may be used on or around your house. If animals have been left, firefighters will alert animal control. Large animals, such as horses, will be removed or otherwise cared for. If your escape route gets cut off, use your alternative route. If escape is impossible, do not continue to drive in smoke and flames. Hazards can be anywhere, and you might not see them. A safety zone is an open space where fire intensity will be minimal. An area with already burned grasses will not burn again. Return to your own house or seek shelter in any building, especially one built of fire-resistant materials. Move to the deepest part of the house, away from large windows and the oncoming blaze. It's best to have a cement floor and an escape door should you need to get out. Take water, food, phone, and your animals. Having some games for the kids can help keep them calm. Call to let someone know you are trapped. It may get smoky, which is especially bad for those with asthma and lung problems, but your chances of survival are better inside than out driving in a car. If the house ignites, you should be able to go outside by then. In Colorado, you cannot be forced to leave your own property, but a decision to shelter in place should not be made casually. If you decide to stay, you'll need enough food and water for the whole evacuation period. Should you leave to get supplies, you will not be allowed back into the evacuated area.
Obviously, if they evacuate, then they will be supplied with their necessary sustenance and so forth. But we have too many things going on at that time. Security, making sure people get out of there, and addressing the incident. And so supplying people who refuse to evacuate is not on the priority list.
The law allows you to stay on your own property, but not to venture away onto roads which may contain heavy fire traffic or law enforcement looking for looters. To keep evacuation procedures as simple as possible, keep a checklist handy to guide you through the process. Unless you are in a well-mitigated, fire-resistant structure, the best plan is always to be prepared in advance so you can evacuate early. Remember that a sudden burst of wind can change a slow-moving surface fire into a raging inferno in a matter of minutes. A house can be replaced. You and your loved ones cannot.